So today I'll be talking about transformation and bridging the gap between transformation, design, and delivery. So it is quite a problem at the moment in terms of execution of projects. Let me share my screen and we get going. You can see my screen, Dima?
Yes, I can see your screen, Arun.
All right, perfect. So today's topic is transformation, bridging the gap between strategy design and delivery. So it's quite a hot topic at the moment for a number of executives. And Brightline, which is a project management institute initiative, has focused over the last year on looking at how to bridge this gap, how to make and enable success in project delivery and bridging that gap. So let me start by giving you some figures. 97% of organizations reported they were undergoing some kind of business transformation initiatives. Yes, 97% of organizations are doing some kind of transformation or some kind of transformational projects. 70% of them, 70% of digital transformation initiatives fail. And 47% expected to realize sustainable value from those efforts. It is quite a gloomy picture. It's like the Titanic sinking, thousands of projects running, billions of dollars being lost. And we're not talking only about digital agile transformation. We're really talking about deep fundamental business transformation initiatives which are not delivering expected sustainable value for the efforts being put in. So let's move on to transformation. What is transformation? The Cambridge Dictionary defines transformation as a complete change in the character or appearance of something or someone, especially so that that thing or person is improved. So here we talk about improving thing or person, making a change to character, appearance. So let's refine that definition in an organizational context. So we say here transformation refers to an organization achieving a sustainable quantum leap improvement in performance while transforming the mindset of employees and the organization culture. It is quite clear that transformation is a deep change. It's not the small changes we are doing in our projects. It's not the small changes that we do in our organization. It's really a quantum leap. So for example, Elon Musk, he suggested that he will be doing the Hyperloop so that travel is much faster. It's a quantum change. So people won't be using the train, but will be using Hyperloop, which is a completely new kind of way of travel. So that's really a deep change in organization, in the way that we impact customers and the community. And above all, it's also the mindset of employees and the organization culture. So let's take the standard transformation from BCG Group, which is a big consulting group. So BCG says that transformations are changes in strategy, in the operating model, in the organization, people, and process. So as you will see in organizational context, transformation touches all the aspects of the company, including people, including processes, including operating model, and the strategy. So it's really a quantum leap to a different product, the way we work in organizations. So having said that, let's talk about how engaged people are at work, because one of the key aspects of transformation is engagement, is how people feel about the change, how people feel about transformation. I would like just to have a quick survey. I will switch my screen, a quick survey on Mentimeter to give you an insight on transformation and have your views on your engagement. So I'll share another screen, just my. So here we go. I hope you all can see the code. You can see my screen, Dima? Still okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, so if we have people in the audience, so the question is really, how engaged are you in your current role or organization? So yeah, we have a few minutes gap between the presentation will appear to the audience. So let's just take it a few minutes for the audience to vote. So the question fundamentally is really how engaged are you in your current role and organization? Because it's quite clear that employee engagement is one of the key aspects in terms of transformation. So yeah, we have a few votes coming in. So engage, moderately engage, just about okay, and not engage. So we're talking in a context of change and transformation, where projects are changing, the culture is changing. All right, I think we got some responses. I'll just go back to my presentation. So from a recent survey, we found out that 85% of employees are disengaged. And that's quite a huge figure in the context of transformation. And from a bright line perspective and from an organization perspective, we see that no outside consultant can galvanize a team to transform like the people inside it. So let me move on now to some of the reasons of why it is so much difficult to transform organization. We saw that 70% of transformations fail and 47% of transformation don't deliver their value. So the key reasons for that is employees are not engaged, So employees do not really connect to the transformation initiative that is going on. They feel that they are not part of the whole and they don't have a sense of purpose. And another aspect is failure to align employees' aspiration to organization North Star. So employees don't see them in the transformation, and the organization and the leaders can't connect the employee personal aspirations to the organization goals. Another key reason is the unclear statement about why are we transforming, the real purpose of the transformation. In many organizations where there are transformation, people are not clear about the goal of the transformation. They don't understand why the company is changing, why the company needs new product. And here it is fundamental that employees get the right information. Another aspect is that transformation is too slow and runs out of steam. So let's take an example of an organization that wants to change a product or want to change processes globally. And that takes years to change. So that's quite a big problem because people lose focus. The organization, the people, the leaders, the customers, they feel that things are changing. There's so much movement every day and they run out of steam. They lose their motivation. The other aspect, in many transformation initiatives, organizations hire armies of external consultants driving the change. So that causes a lot of demotivation, causes the internal employees, the stars, the high performers to lose the engagement in the transformation. So as Simon Sinek says, because a true sense of purpose is deeply emotional, it serves as a compass to guide us to act in a way completely consistent with our values and beliefs. Purpose does not need to involve calculations or numbers. Purpose is about the quality of life. Purpose is human, not economic. So rightly said by Simon, purpose is about the quality of life. Purpose is human, not economic. So in the transformational aspect, people are at the center of the transformation in an organization. So employees need to be engaged. We need to connect employee aspiration to the North Star. We need to explain very clearly why we are transforming. And transformation needs to have really a high speed. It needs to have a velocity that triggers the sense of purpose, that triggers a sense of urgency for change in the organization. So let's see, what is your strategy? What is the organizational strategy that companies can take? So there are two models, the Joseph Oman model, which is the 4 types of strategy work. And we have the Porter's generic strategy. So Joseph's strategy of work basically focuses on the degree of people impact and the degree of uncertainty, while Porter model will focus on the scope and the source of competitive advantage. As you will see in the first model, the Joseph Oman model, organizations have different choices. So they can focus on operational excellence, which is really being good at what you are doing at the moment, doing it better, doing it much better. You could move in the degree of uncertainty towards experimentation, so experimenting with new projects. On the other hand, you get companies that will do transformative projects. They want to have a leapfrog in the transformation that they are doing. And also in terms of discovery, where there's a lot of changes, experimentation, seeing new things, and big companies which are at the moment running the global internet landscape, which are the most profitable, like Apple, Google. They do a lot of discovery. They put in place new products. If we look at Porter model, at the far end, we get the differentiation, which basically means that the company would be offering new products to the market. So here we see quite clearly that people is important, the degree of uncertainty, the scope of the change, and the competitive advantage that would affect the customer are key. So again, in transformation models, we see that people are important. We see the degree of uncertainty change. We see scope of change. And we see the customer. So let's bring all that together. In transformation or in anywhere in our life, we need a compass to navigate. So what is a compass? A compass gives us the direction to do something. And in the context of transformation, we have the bright line transformation compass, which is a tool that many organizations are using nowadays. So basically what the compass gives us is, first of all, the North Star. The North Star is a crisp, inspiring articulation of the vision and strategic objectives for the transformation. We have the customer insights and megatrends. So in a transformation, it is clear that what happens, what the customer thinks is key to the transformation. And customer centricity is fundamental for the success. On the other hand, megatrends are things that are changing in our everyday life. Things like climatic change, COVID-19, or megatrends. The transformation operating system is a flat, adaptable, and cross-functional organization structure that enables sustainable change. So it's really how we change our process, our organization, and how we do things. And let's go into the people aspect. We have our volunteer champions. It's a mechanism really to harness thought leaders from across the organization to drive transformation. We said that transformation fails because people are not involved. People are not engaged in the transformation. So here, key aspect is to have volunteer champions from within the organization. And the last part of that compass is inside-out employee transformation. Inside-out employee transformation is a set of tools to make the transformation personal to each employee, to connect the aspiration to the North Star and to your customers. So let's break this down into the 5 components. Let's start with the North Star statement. What is this big word about North Star statement? So basically the North Star statement is a crisp, clear articulation of the vision. It's where we want to be, where we want to go, and how we change the lives of our employees, our customers, and all the stakeholders involved. And that's the driving force behind the transformation. It's where it will guide us towards success. Let's take Nike, for example. Nike says to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. So Nike wants to touch every athlete in the world. And Google to provide access to the world's information in one click. So those are very simple sentences, but yet very, very, very powerful. If you take Google, it's very simple. Their North Star is to provide access to the world's information in one click. They thought about it a long time ago, and now they are leader. So that clear, crisp articulation of that vision is key to the success of the transformation of an organization. So let's move on to customer insights and megatrends. So basically what is customer insight is what your customer thinks, what impacts your customer, how your customer reacts to what you do in your organization, to the products you make. And megatrends are basically what happens around us. So for example, PMI recently did a study. The study was conducted in 2021. And PMI found out that the 5 mega trends at the moment is COVID-19, basically, climate crisis, civil, civic, and equality movements, shifting globalization, mainstream artificial intelligence. And basically what happens is that those mega trends, they affect our organization. They affect how we deliver projects, how we deliver products to our customer, and how our customer changes also. So if you take an example, because of COVID-19, the customer patterns in terms of buying have changed. A lot of companies have got bankrupt because they didn't have online sales, online marketing, and online products. So a lot of companies have gone bust with COVID-19. Climate crisis also is quite change to the way we do business. So most companies now are looking at societal impact, are looking at how the customer will see their organization from within. How much pollution they are doing, are they sustainable, are they cutting trees, are they polluting? So these are really important things nowadays. Even in the construction industry, we had a really great talk from Pro Design yesterday, where they talk about sustainable and BREEAM, which is all the things coming into organization. So all these aspects affect how companies will move in the future. So the transformation operating system is another key aspect of transformation. Here, we need to get rapid response team, essentially getting teams engaged quickly into the transformation. The governance model, it's about our processes and how we run our process in companies. We talk a lot about lightweight and flexible governance. So lightweight and flexible governance are key, especially in the times of changes with uncertainty and complexity. We need to be able to change our process, to adapt them, and to change those processes. A fixed mindset can kill an organization. And people, leaders, project managers need to have that flexibility to shift their processes. On the other hand, we have collaborative and appropriate risk appetite. So in times of transformation, in times of VUCA, collaboration is key. And to succeed, project managers, employees, leaders, they need to have the right level of risk appetite, taking the right risk. So sometimes going further into taking risk to be successful. And really assessing the impact of the risk on the change initiatives. Fundamental to measuring transformation success is having key KPIs that are actionable. So understanding the performance indicators, understanding where we are navigating in the transformation, understanding where we are on our path to transformation, how our projects, programs are performing. So key KPIs enable us to see clearly where we are and how we are progressing. Another key aspect is funding and investment. So if you look at traditional organizations, budget are fixed, budget don't change, and there's a lot of inflexibility in terms of budgeting and funding projects and initiatives. So in a transformation journey and in a VUCA world, venture-style budgeting gives you the edge on projects, the edge to have the success. So really anticipating the projects where you will have more funding, and then sometimes stopping funding on some projects, moving to other projects. It's really being really flexible in terms of the funding of projects and programs in the transformation. So those were the key aspects of the transformation operating system. Let's now move on to another fundamental aspect, probably one of the key essential aspects to enable a successful transformation, is volunteer champions. We talk about employee engagement being one or the most important factor to enable success of a transformation. So here we put the emphasis on recruiting and identifying internal change agents, which are the key employees in the organization that have the skills, competencies to embark in the transformation. And also importantly, in the transformation landscape, everybody has a role to play. And the organization needs to drive empowerment from the internal employees. Organizations need to drive transformation from within and often use employees that are really willing to work outside their day-to-day job to drive the transformation. Leadership provides clear direction and coaching to enable employees to move in an empowered world. Employees are empowered with right tools and autonomy. So very important is to give employees the autonomy to suggest, to implement, and to move things forward. And key to that is also building the next generation of leaders. So the volunteer champions are really fundamental to the success of the transformation. It is them that will bring in the change into the organization. Talking about change from within, talking about change, talk about inside-out employee transformation. That is, organization cannot change until their people change, until the people connect emotionally to the change, to the transformation. And psychological safety is key to that. People need to feel secure. People need to feel that they can contribute to the transformation. Successful transformation is driven from inside. The culture changes from inside. And it is not a group of expert consultants from outside that would make the transformation successful. Yes, we need experts from outside, but essentially it's the people from inside that will drive the transformation, that will change the organization culture, that will empower, that would make the work, that would bring the expertise. So here, the people need to have the purpose and not just tasks to do. They need to feel engaged. They need to feel important in the transformation journey. And how to make that happen is really work with the employees make them visualize the future, see the future for everyone, and provide personal transformation coaching and training. So people need to have a transformation plan for themselves, because the organization will change, the people will change. It's not just focusing on changing the process, changing the methods, but changing the people. Give your people transformation, personal transformation coaching, transformational plan, where they will see their evolution, where they will see that they are accompanied in the transformation. So Brightline talks about also the road to success. The Brightline initiative, we talk about the 10 guiding principles, which are key fundamental to transformation. So firstly, acknowledge that strategy delivery is just as important as strategy design. So basically, just don't write the strategy and then forget about the delivery. So leaders, CXOs, CEOs, they need to be involved into communicating the strategy, into the strategy delivery initiatives. They need to be present there. Accept that you're accountable for delivering the strategy you've designed. So really take accountabilities as leaders. Dedicate and mobilize the right resources. So we talk about engaging people, having the right skills, enabling people. Leverage insight on customers and competitors. So really understanding what the customer wants. The customer is at the middle of the transformation. Be bold, stay focused, and keep it as simple as possible. So simplicity is a key word here. A lot of times we tend to over-complexify what we are doing. We tend to go in all the direction. We tend to do 10,000 projects. We tend to go all over the place, but keep focus on key strategic process and project. And keep it simple, do things simply. Promoting engagement and effective cross-business cooperation, and also demonstrate bias towards decision-making. So really look at how you make decisions. Check ongoing initiatives before committing to new ones. So sometimes some projects needs to be stopped. You need to know where you are in these projects. Are all your projects delivering to the expectations? And we need to be clear. Sometimes we need to stop projects. We need to have the guts, stop it, move on to other things. And that's key into transformation. Fundamentally, we need also to have robust plans that allow for missteps. That is, really fail fast to learn fast. Go quickly into the projects. Run the first few iterations of the projects to understand, to learn, and to fail fast. It is key to fail, because failure is a step to success. And the last principle is about celebrating success and recognizing those people who have done good work. And key here is all engage people. Ultimately, also when things are successful, really celebrating and giving your teams a pat on the back. So let's move on to the strategy implementation cycle. So basically, we've talked about the projects, how we run the projects, the key areas of success, the transformation compass. And this is basically a very simple transformation life cycle that organization can use. The first step is to inspire. That is, as leaders, we lead our organization through the changing times. We take accountability to lead our organizations. We put clear, tangible goals. As leaders, we set a positive example. We display full commitment to initiatives. and we authentically communicate to teams. We onboard the internal changes. We onboard internal change agents and rapid response team, which are basically the teams that work with us. Secondly, mobilize. We define the blueprint for the transform organization and build a plan to achieve our goals. So as leaders, we get people together to understand, to make the plan, to build the teams. To do that, we need to understand the megatrends affecting our customers. We need to know where we are in terms of unmet needs that needs to be solved. And we need to assess where our organization is. And fundamentally, we've talked about it, upskill our teams. Shifting means carry out the objectives to achieve transformation and make the organization future ready. So here we carry out our plans with a flat, agile, and cross-functional team, promote our talents, and adapt constantly. And fundamentally, you will see the focus is on our people, on the way we do things in the organization, in the way we structure our process, in the way we communicate, and in the way we promote our talents. Let's take a look on the role of project managers in transformation. Project managers are basically the strategic partners in the transformation. You will have CXOs, CEOs that will be working to put the strategy with the different shareholders, maybe with the customers. And the project manager is key to that. The project manager has the right leadership skill, has the technical project management skills, and the project manager need to have the right insight into strategic and business management. So PMI has the talent triangle that is emphasized in the PMBOK. So the PMBOK 7th edition moves the focus from just managing to leading. So when we talk to the shift from just managing to leading, we talk about having the confidence to go beyond leading, to go beyond just organizing, to go beyond just controlling, to go beyond just executing and monitoring risk. We understand as leaders the strategic impact of our role. As leaders, we need to understand our contribution to the overall organization. Also, as project leaders, project managers, we need really to be clear on the broad aspect of the impact of the projects, like societal impacts, technology impacts, and sustainability. So we need to always be on the lookout to get more knowledge on what's happening in the society, technology, and things that can impact our organization and the projects that we run. So if you look at the diagram here, the PMBOK, which is the Project Management Book of Knowledge, 6th edition and the 7th edition, there's a shift towards project management principles, system for value delivery, and the guide to the project management. And we talk about things like stewardship, team, stakeholders, value delivery, system thinking, leadership. So these are all the skills that project leaders need to have. So project leaders, again, PMPs, members of PMI chapter, people involved in the day-to-day projects are key to transformation success. And PMI, through the different certifications, provide those skills. So I wanted to end this presentation with a quote from John Kennedy, the 35th president of the United States of America, who said that conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. So basically, in the VUCA world, we need to adapt constantly. We need to be flexible. We need to be committed leaders. We need to have the right skills to be able to navigate the world of complexity that we have at the moment. And project leaders, they are key to the world of tomorrow. People who drive projects, they are key to driving organization success. They are key to employee motivation. They are key to successful transformation for the future. Thank you. I can take questions if we have from the audience.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Arun. Definitely that was very inspiring speech from your side on strategy and transformation. So we have two questions quite related, so I'll come to them all together. So the question is like, how according to you, companies in Mauritius are doing with regards to bridging the gap between strategy and implementation? And as well, so do you think like leaders in Mauritius have reached a maturity to acknowledge that a shift in organizational culture and leadership style is critical to ensure successful transformation? Over to you.
Okay, I'll take your first question, which is about how organizations in Mauritius are leveraging the transformation. So a number of organizations in Mauritius are moving really fast. So if you look at the recent pandemic over the last 2 years, you will see that even the small planters now are selling their vegetables online. So that's quite a shift. And personally, we need to be very pleased in the Mauritian landscape to see that we have been able to adapt. And yesterday we had a very good example also from Vikram Bhajan from Pro Design, who has given us an expose on construction 4.0. And he talks about how he uses technology in this changing world and how he has transformed the way his organization has been doing business in this changing world. So I think many organizations are really leveraging transformation using the tools that we have at our disposition to make transformation. I think on the other hand also, there's maybe some organizations which are a bit more reluctant to change and embracing newer concepts, embracing the mega trends that are coming. So for example, artificial intelligence, we are talking about construction 4.0, we are talking about all these mega trends. So what I would say is really companies need to think forward. They don't need to think now, they need to think forward and implement all these transformation changes that are coming. And your second question, if you could please repeat that for me.
Yeah, sure. So do you think like the leaders in Mauritius have reached the maturity to be able to acknowledge that a shift in organizational culture and leadership style is critical to ensure successful transformation?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question. I think we all here as leaders, a lot of our audience also as leaders, project managers, CXOs, even leaders in our house, as families, as parents, as fathers and mothers, we are all leaders. We lead every day and we change lives, we change people's lives, we change customer behavior. Do we have the right maturity? I would say we are learning every day, and people, we're not perfect. Some people are very good at what they do. They are learning constantly by being in seminars that we are doing like today. And I think it's really that path to evolution. People need to understand where they are, to understand at this point in time what is their, I would say, strength, how do they position themselves, and what are their weaknesses. So it's really about introspection and people understanding where they are. And I'm sure we will have much, much better leaders. And I'm sure also we have a lot of great leaders here in Mauritius doing a great job. Thank you, Dima.
Okay, Aaron, thank you so much. Maybe just one last question. So
Yeah.
what, according to you, should be the first move for companies to bridge the gap between strategy design and implementation?
Yeah. So the first move for companies is really to understand where they are, understanding how their customers are changing or behaving, and the mega trends that are coming. To me, for all the executives out there, they need to understand the landscape outside. It's looking outside, what's happening, and fundamentally also looking from inside what people are saying, what changes are needed to make that step forward, that leap change in how they do business, in the products that they are doing. It's really about understanding where you are.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Aaron, for this very inspiring talk and all these insights. So I believe we have reached now the end of our annual conference, our 2-day conference. So I will let you do the closure for our conference.